Well, they say the third time is the charm. I tried onto a different Wi-Fi connection, and I've got a little halo right here from the light behind me. That's okay. DJ Stutz here with Little Hearts Academy USA, and I'm also the host of Imperfect Heroes podcast. And we try to help parents find their own parenting styles and to have tools that they've developed that will help them become just a little better than they were the day before. So we don't expect perfection. Nobody ever could be perfect, and we're all gonna make mistakes. But as long as we're looking for new answers and for new possibilities, then I think that you're gonna be just fine. And that's really what we talk about in this week's episode. So it's episode 61, yep. And it is called Bringing Your Best and Being Okay with It. So I talk with this amazing woman. Her name is Linda Bjork, and she has her own podcast, Linda's Corner. I highly recommend it. And then she's an author, a best-selling author of several books. She is an entrepreneur, she is a philanthropist, and her goal is to help people live their best lives and finding the peace inside of themselves to do just that. And it was kind of nice how our goals really coincide with, I have that same type of goal, but in our parenting realms, so that we are able to look at how we're parenting and see all the good that we're doing and give ourselves credit for that. But then also at the same time recognize that everyone has room to improve, and that includes parents. And it's okay that we're not perfect. In fact, it's impossible for us to be perfect. It's just not gonna happen. It's never happened before, and it will never happen. Even the very best parents have things that they can improve on, and to look at their lives and see where are the areas that they can go. And you know, Linda Bjork, and hi Raylene, Linda Bjork in this week's episode is just so good at that. Her voice is even calm. Just listening to her talk brought me peace, and she is amazing in finding ways to help us start out the day in a peaceful manner and then moving on with that. So one of the things that she talked about, and she goes into such great detail in the podcast, I can't do it justice here. So I hope that you'll go and listen to that podcast. It's episode, like I said, episode 61. And she talks about starting out the day with MMWW. And it only takes 4 or 5 minutes in the morning. And I think it's such a great idea. So MM comes first. So the first M is movement. And so we get up and we want to like move our shoulders, move our bodies. Maybe if you want to do some shadow boxing, if you want to do some stretches and exercises, all of those things are really good. And the second M is music. And the fun thing is that most songs are about 3, 4, or 5 minutes long. 5 is pretty long, but 3 or 4 minutes long. And if you are just moving for the time of that song, and make it one of your favorites, make it a happy song, something that puts a smile on your face, then you can give that gives you kind of a timeline, a timer of moving around, doing something. Dance. I love to dance. My husband makes fun of me because I'll be in the bathroom combing my hair or getting ready, and I'm dancing and singing, and he likes to make fun of me, and so I just laugh with him. But so when you can start your day with that music and movement, and she talks about different studies about what those two things will bring to your day and how that changes your whole outlook on life. The other two is the WW. And so the first W is words. And one of the things that she mentioned is that they've done studies and where just finding words of things that you're grateful for every day. They did a study with people who suffered with severe depression, and in just a matter of 2 weeks, writing down 5 things every morning that you are grateful for. So whether it's just a roof over your head, that you're breathing, sometimes you have a cold, maybe that's not what you're thankful for, but or a cough. But what are the things that you have? Children, even if they're driving you nuts, don't you just love them? And aren't you counting them as blessings in your life? That you've got a job, even if it's a job you don't like, it's a job and it's helping to provide. And so thinking about those things, and they found that within 2 weeks, people who suffered from severe depression brought their anxieties up, where the control group that didn't do that, their depression didn't make any changes at all. But those, even within 2 weeks, that they were able to raise significantly, and she gives all the numbers, they're not in my head, listen to the podcast, but how they raised their outlook and their ability to deal with life and work through their depression significantly. Did the depression completely go away? No, not in 2 weeks. But, and if you have that genetic disposition, I've dealt with depression my whole life. And it's something that I've had to really concentrate on and spend a lot of time working through. And most people who know me are really surprised when they hear that. But part of it for me is that finding things to be grateful for and people to serve. Those are the 2 big things for me. Anyway, so five things that you're grateful for. And you know what's fun is you take a shower and the steam gets on your window. Write them on your mirror. And so just write them on the mirror. And as you see them in the process of writing them, that really is fun to do and to be thinking about. Then the last one is, the last W is water. And so they have done, again, studies that have shown that people who drink enough water, that significant amount of water, actually do better in all areas. In cognition, that means your ability to remember and to process information, in their health and in their attitudes. And they have found that people, even if you're 1% down from where you should be in hydration, it greatly affects all of those areas of your life, and it affects your mood, it affects your ability to manage stress. So all of those things are important in there. Another thing that we talked about was that, if you have a bad moment in the day, do you define your entire day by that bad moment? Or are you going to say, wow, I really handled that wrong? Or, wow, I really hated the traffic on the way home, all of that. But does that bad traffic make your whole day bad? And so when you're able to say, when you're able to say, yeah, that traffic wasn't great and I was really frustrated, but I got home to this family that I love, or, I was glad to be out of it, I'm healthy. You find other things to be grateful for, and you don't let that small part of your day define your entire day. And so let's say that you blew it and you got madder at your kids than you meant to get, or, dinner was awful. I've had those days. And, or maybe, you spilled coffee all over your work clothes and had to figure that out. But did that define your entire day? And so we talked a little bit about that as well. And we also talked about how imperfect parents, which is all of us, if you're a parent, you're imperfect at it. And there's no way around it. But are we able to look at where we are in our parenting and say, what's a good next step for me to learn? And so where are the places that maybe bring you frustration? Is it, getting the kids to bed at night? Is it getting them to eat? Is it getting them to quit fighting with one another? Are you worried about getting homework done and their grades? Are they being independent? Am I having to fix every little thing because they can't manage their own problems? All of those things are things that we can consider. How are we doing at that? And then pick one area that we want to improve a little bit on, and then working on that. Of course, my podcast is a great place to start. Another place is the parent coaching, where I can come in and listen to you, watch maybe some of your interactions over the video, or listen in on the phone. I like the video better, and just have a discussion on where would you like things to go, and how would that look if you had that? How do you think that would look? And then what are some things that you can do to get you moving further in that direction? And that's what coaching is all about, is helping you. Like if I had a batting coach, and I wanted to be a better softball player or a baseball player, and I needed someone to help me with my stand, and I needed someone to help me with my grip and my eye coordination and judging, strike, ball, and all of those things that even professional MLB players, right? They are coached almost every day on batting, on fielding, on catching. They work on their speed so that, exciting, I hit the ball. Now they've got to run around the bases, and are they fast enough to be able to get that? I don't know how they slide and get up. I watch that and I'm just amazed at how they slide in feet first and they are up on their feet. But not only have they gotten really good at what they're doing, they continue to practice and to work and to get better. So just because you think you need some coaching, or you're not sure where to go to get some fresh ideas, it doesn't mean that you're a bad parent. In fact, the fact that you're looking for help in that area says you're a great parent. You are looking for that help. Think of anything that is really good. Think of an Olympic level swimmer or skier or gymnast. Oh, I hit that level, I don't have to practice anymore. No, they have to keep practicing every day, working to get better. They have coaches that come in and say, oh, I noticed you need to point your toe, in this better direction. Or maybe, it's the arch of their back, or maybe it's how they're standing or how they're moving as they run around the bases. Somebody I love watching, and he was with the Colorado Rockies and now he's with the Toronto Blue Jays, Ramal Tapia. He is stinking fast. Oh my gosh. He's this skinny, tall guy, and he's from Cuba, and he can make catches that are unbelievable because he can move so quickly. He goes around the bases. It's amazing to watch. If you ever get a chance and you're watching the Blue Jays, pay attention to that and how he's fast. But as I've learned about him, because he's a player I like to follow, he is constantly working on that and bringing in new ideas, trying new different weight things, and making sure that he is at the top of his game. It's okay to do that as a parent. In fact, it just shows that you're willing to invest the time and the money to really move forward. I have parents ask me, why does it charge? Why do you charge? Oops, kids just got home, so you might get some noise from them. But why are you charging to get, coaching? And the reality is it does cost. It costs a lot to put this podcast together, to get the media done so that the word gets out. And I too am constantly working. I take classes. I'm working to find more ideas to help my parents and to be a better teacher. And two, the other thing is, if something is totally free, oh, it's free, I can miss this one, right? And we have found as a group of parent coaches that, and I am in several groups, and one of them is for parent coaches, is that when it is free, there's a really big thing where people will sign up and then never show up because they don't have any skin in the game. Where if you know that you're paying to get into that, and this is really, to me, the most important aspect. If you're not getting there to get the information that you need, how are you going to grow? How are you going to make that big step? And so right now my prices are ridiculously low compared to other parent coaches. So right now I'm only doing one-on-one coaching. I only open the group coaching 3 times a year. And the reason for that is we get a group going and then someone new comes in after they've been together for 3 or 4 weeks. And you know, it takes time to get that new person up to speed. And so it's better if we just all start at the same time. So the next time I'm opening my group coaching is going to be in November. So you'll be wanting to watch that. And in November, I will be doing my next challenge, which is going to be a 10-day challenge on finding gratitude in your life and helping your children be grateful. And so I thought it's appropriate for November. So that'll be going on in November. But my one-on-one coaching is always open. And so you can always just go to www.littleheartsacademyusa.com and you will see the one-on-one coaching, and it's up kind of towards the top of the webpage, and you can get more information there. And the nice thing is we will set times that are individual to you. And so with group coaching, you know, you kind of have to go with the times that the group is there. We always record them, and so you can always look at it later if that time didn't work for you, and that's fine. It's just that you miss out on maybe getting your own question answered or making that connection with that other parent that maybe is in a similar situation or has a similar business or whatever. Then you miss out on that. But the one-on-one coaching is always available. And so, you know, while I'm getting things going and started, prices are really good for you. And then, you know, as a person gets in more demand and has a greater following, then of course prices go up. And inflation is certainly not helping anything either. So that's why you want to get a coach. This is why you want to constantly try to do better. And if it's something that's really important in your life, you're going to do that. My son is into golf, and he loves golf. And so he will pay for a coach to help him improve his swings. He's paid for online systems and things that they will look at you online, video of your swing and stuff. It'll analyze it and all of that. He's a police officer, and so his health and being able to jump a fence and chase down somebody is important. And so he also pays for a coach to help him maintain those things, to stay strong and in shape so that he can do his job effectively and not get hurt while he's doing it. So those things are important to him. All of us have things that we're willing to pay someone to help us out with. And so is parenting less important than that? I think not, but that's just me. So I hope you'll listen to the podcast. Linda is amazing, and she works with people who have dealt with depression and with anxiety and helps them find a peaceful place where they can move forward in their lives and manage and address that, face on and talk with that anxiety and that depression and then you can move forward. It's really great, and I love this episode with all my heart. So I hope that you'll listen in. I hope that you'll check out my website. I hope that you will consider either the group coaching, which will open in November, or some one-on-one. And I'm always available. If you're interested in one-on-one, I'm always glad to do a free 45-minute session with you to get you started, and you can see if I'm a good fit for you. And if I'm not, I hope you find someone who is. I really do. And if I am, let's get to work, right? And I always want, my key plan is for us to find joy in parenting, because really that's where my greatest joy came from. My greatest hurts, my greatest sorrows came from that as well. And that's all part of it, right? And so I hope that we'll be able to work together, but if not, listen to the podcast and get as much information as you can from that and move forward. So I will be back next Tuesday. Oh, I wanted to let you guys know too that starting the month of September, just for that month, I am going to be doing a weekly live on Instagram as well as Facebook. So I'm going to be gathering data, seeing it, where I can reach the most people. I might keep them both. I might just keep one. It just depends on what kind of data and interaction I get from that month of trying things out. And I'm on TikTok now. I know, it's a surprise. Anybody who knows me is shocked. But I am on TikTok now, and it's Little Hearts Academy USA. And I've been posting about once or twice a week. So go on and give it a look-see. And actually, let me know what you think. If there's things that I maybe need to do. I'm new to the TikTok world, and so maybe some of you have some great ideas on how I can be better in the TikTok world. So until next week, and until you listen on my podcast, let's find joy in parenting. Good night, everyone.